Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review of Ladies Who List Atlanta Season 1 Episode 3. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share it with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. So we pick up where we left off, right? So, things are happening and Cristal is saying, you're triggered. And Tiana is like, stop saying triggered. Stop it. It makes it worse. Just stop saying it. She's like, no, you mind your business. We're best friends. Ma'am, you're work besties, okay? She brings you clients. Y'all can't be best friends in real life, honey. Can't be. True BFFs, they know our triggers and our struggles. And they don't taunt you with them. They don't get out in public amongst a group of strangers and say, you're triggered. Am I triggering you? It's too much. It's too much. Girl, that is not best friend behavior. Oh, no, ma'am. So, honey, she trying to hush Tiana because Tiana is keeping it real. And she's like, stop it. You're saying that and it's making it worse. So Robin said in her confessional, Cristal is trying to humiliate me. Tiana said, look, just let it go. Just stop. And Cristal goes, mind your business. So then she gets in her confessional and she says, I did the best that I could do and I don't really like confrontation and that was highly confrontational. Cristal, I am confused. I'm very confusion. You don't like confrontation, yet you continue to fan the flames knowing she gets angrier and not calmer when you say the word triggered. Like, make it make sense because it's not making absolutely any sense. Moving forward. So she's like, the last thing I need is Tiana telling me what to do because you doing that is actually triggering me. Well, isn't that ironic? You do it, but don't want it done to you. And I thought you weren't easily triggered. That's what your fast fashion t-shirts that you're selling, that's what they say. Not easily triggered. I think that is very tacky. The fact that you want to monopolize on someone having mental health issues and creating a t-shirt for sale that says not easily triggered. Girl, that's all I need to know, honey. Moving forward. So Tiana is like, I'm just trying to help. Cristal trying to pretend to be in control of her emotions. And she's like, I'm not easily upsettable. So just stay there. And girl, y'all keep them hands down because Cristal is like talking with the hands and whatnot. Cristal, keep your hands down. Everybody keep their hands in their lap. Meanwhile, while all the commotion is going on, Kira is eating her French fries. Baby, Kira is me, honey. I'm going to eat if I don't do nothing else. So Kiana said, but she's upset, okay? I know you're not easily upsettable, but she's upset. And Cristal said, she's always upset. So Kiana said, she's always upset? So Cristal said, yes, that's what I'm saying. You don't know her. Okay, and again, why would you tell them that she's always upset knowing she wants to do business with them? Like, why? See, this is what you're not understanding, Cristal. You get amongst these ladies and you start acting brand new. You're not making any sense. So Tiana is like, how are y'all friends? Like, how are you her friend? And that's what I'm wondering. So she said, look, I don't do this. You have an issue too. You tell her, Tiana, in your jumpsuit giving sequence New Year's Eve realness. I know that's right, girl. How are you her friend? Please fill me in. Honey, I need to know as well. Moving forward. Tiana's like, well, let me go, child. Let me go. Like, do you think I'm going to stay in this atmosphere? And so Tiffany comes back because, honey, I know I wouldn't. It could be potential clients out there and y'all out there fussing and fighting and talking real loud. Oh, absolutely not. So then Tiffany comes up because, she's the voice of reason. And she's like, okay, we're going to go. It's been real. Okay. I mean, it is what it is. So then in the confessional, Tiana said, I have no basis for Robin's behavior, but I know Cristal. And I felt like her response to her behavior was a little bit much. Child, then TNT, they leave, which is Tiffany and Tiana. And they're both like, I would never do that to you. I would never talk to you like that. I would never say trigger to you like that. That is provoking. And you know what I want to say? I'm speaking directly to you or whoever produced this show. I'm speaking directly to you. When the new words come out. Child, we're going to run narcissist and triggered into the ground. Do you hear me? Baby, when our people learn a word, baby, you going to hear that word. Y'all hear me? So in the confessional, Tiffany said Cristal didn't have any empathy for Robin. She didn't. She likes to mock her and she likes to highlight it in front of others. and this has become a pattern, and it's only been 3 episodes. Robin isn't innocent either. Okay, I just want to make sure I put that out there. Robin, you are not innocent either. But Cristal, you are wrong. Moving forward. So Cristal is still sitting there with Kiana and Kira, right? And she's like, I just really don't appreciate Tiana chiming in. Them bantering back and forth had nothing to do with her, and she's a stranger. Cristal, I don't know if you quite understand what banter is, but y'all wasn't bantering back and forth. Y'all were getting into it as y'all got into it. Girl, keep up. Moving forward. She's like, let me handle her how I handle her. That's the thing. Don't you see the way you handle her is toxic? Yelling out triggered every 2 seconds, that is not helping. That's like when people say, calm down, just calm down, and you already calm. It has the opposite effect. So you yelling out triggered, it's not working. So Kiana said, well, I'm willing to talk to her, but she needs to calm down. Because, this is just too much. So she looks at Kira and she's like, so why are your shoes off? So Kira said, look, I didn't know if she was going to try to sneak me. Kiana said, put your shoes back on. We're ladies. I know that's right, Kiana. Baby, Kiana says, y'all will not be kicking up dust in my bob. I know that's real. Then Cristal starts deflecting. She's like, oh, I didn't know y'all had a thing. Like, when someone unfollows you, that's serious. Stop talking about Robin. Let's talk about why you unfollowed her. You also unfollowed her. Did we forget that? Kira, don't get distracted eating them French fries. Cristal unfollowed you as well. She's like, I had no idea it would turn into that between the two of you. Cristal is a sneaky one, okay? She's sitting in Kira's face and saying to her, when someone unfollows you, that's serious. Yet Kira told us all out here in TV land that you and Robin unfollowed her at the same time. It was a synchronized unfollowing. So therefore, and thus and such, you just sitting here skinning and grinning in her face because you want to be liked by Kira and because you want her business, and you ain't fooling me. Moving forward. So Kira said, I just wanted to clear the air, but she wanted to go off. Kira, you went off as well. You called the woman seasoned, okay, because I don't want to say old. And then you said you was on her. Like, am I missing something? Like, oh, we were all watching the same show. Am I watching something different? Y'all comment down below and tell me if I'm losing my mind. And why is this only Robin's fault? Why? Kira said, Robin invited me there knowing that she had unfollowed me. And then she tried to deflect and try to make it like it was my fault. Kira, truth be told, I don't think Robin even knows how to use social media properly. Now, I'm not trying to be funny, but listen, I follow Robin and she likes the comments that the bots leave. I won $10 million and I've been doing so well since I've started Forex. Robin likes those comments. So I'm just saying, baby, she might not even realize she unfollowed you, child. I'm just saying, honey, just give her a little bit of grace. It's an unfollow. We can get past an unfollow. Like, we can get past that. Like, I'm not making excuses for her, but ask her why she did it. Talk to her one-on-one. Don't be so hype and telling her the older age is this and the older age is that. Just talk to her and extend her some grace, honey. And don't forget about Cristal, because that seems to be getting lost in the sauce. Moving forward. So Cristal is still talking to Kiana and Kira, right? And she's like, the thing about it is I know she comes from a tough background, so she's a fighter. Kira said, nah, we all go through something. I was dirt poor. I had to eat crackers and hot sauce. We were so poor. That does not excuse your behavior. This I totally agree with. You cannot just go around being the victim and just saying, I went through something, so this is why I behave so erratically. No, that is not an excuse. Kiana said, well, if you can't control your emotions, then you can't control yourself in business. I control myself in business and I control my emotions. So Cristal starts crying. And I was like, girl, what are you crying about? And they comfort her. And Kiana is trying to calm her down. And she's like, she's your friend. If she's your best friend, then y'all can talk about this a little later. And I'm sure in Kiana's mind, she was thinking, girl, what kind of best friend situation is this? Because I know I was. Moving forward. In the next scene, we see Robin. She's doing yoga. I think we're going to need something a little stronger. I don't think yoga going to do it, honey. She said, she's torn up because Cristal's her best friend. And she knows what having your back looks like. And that was not it. She said, I'm torn. I don't know if we can continue being friends after this. People really use the term best friend so loosely. I'm 10 toes down for my BFF when I had one. And if you watched my story time, you know why I no longer have one. But when I did have one, I would make sure I ride for them. And I would know that as my best friend, you had a mental health issue. And I certainly would not get amongst ladies who I know may have an issue with you or you don't know particularly well and start saying, you're triggered. I would not do that to my best friend. And Robin, if you're going to say that you're Cristal's best friend, I don't get in my best friend's face and start putting my hands on them like they some random in the street. I don't do that. So I don't think the two of you know what best friends are. I think you just have been around each other a lot and you just said, it's my best friend. It doesn't work like that. Just because I see you 5 days out the week, honey, that does not a best friend make. Moving forward. So Robin is like, if Cristal was pitching her idea and I was her, that wouldn't have happened. Robin, you have to take some accountability for getting physical. Okay? We got to make sure that we don't leave that out. You got physical. We didn't need that. Okay? We didn't need that at all. So she's struggling because her own family has abandoned her. So she doesn't know if she wants to stay friends with Cristal. Now, I wouldn't want to stay friends with Cristal just off GP because, honey, it's just something about her in my spirit that don't sit right. But, baby, that's just me. Moving forward. Oh, and P.S. Y'all's friendship is toxic. That's just a side note. In the next scene, Kiana and her husband, they're sitting by the pool, and she tells him about what happened with the dinner. He was like, what happened? Y'all know what's crazy to me? When I watch these reality shows and the women go back and they tell their husband what happened the night before and all this and all that, why does it seem like they only talk about the things with their spouses on camera? Because, child, I be calling my husband on the way home like, baby, let me tell you what these helpers did. Baby, so listen to me. So Cristal was yelling out triggered, right? So Robin jumps up and Robin was like, don't say triggered to me. And she slaps her hands down like she's a toddler. Meanwhile, Kira was over there pissed eating french fries because Cristal and Robin unfollowed her. Are you listening to me, baby? Child, that be me, honey. That's real life, okay? Because I be calling my husband on the way home. Like, let me tell you what happened. Child, I be getting into it. I be calling my husband or I call my best friend. Baby, let me tell you the tea, okay? I wouldn't be able to wait till the next day, child. I just couldn't wait. So she tells him that Robin wanted to join forces, but she thought it was a great idea. But when she really needed Robin, she wasn't down to do what she needed her to do. And she feels like it was shady. So then Kiana tells us again, child. Oh, she tells us again about the 26 contracts. I am so tired of hearing about those contracts. I hope they come to a resolution soon or I'm going to lose my mind. She said, I brought it up, but you know how she gets. She's spicy. So then she told him that she brought up mental health issues. And she told her, look, let's just table it. He said, yeah, and talk about business. No, husband. She didn't say and talk about business. She said and talk about it later. Baby, that husband is focused on the business. And Kiana is like, no, you hurt my feelings. I don't like the way I was treated. And we're going to talk about this. Child, this is a fool. Moving forward. She said, I know she's spicy, but her and Kira got into it as well. He's like, what? Got into it? Like physical or just talking? She was like, no, it was, they were talking and it was some strong words that were used. And so she tells him that it was because Cristal and Robin unfollowed her. And I bet he lost a few brain cells in that moment. Moving forward. She said, I thought it was going to be easy, but then it escalated. She said, Kira said the older agents. She said, and then I just had to take me a little sip. So, they laughing about the fact that Kira said the older agents. And for me, that was petty. That was out of order. Whatever age Robin is, she looks great to be that age, honey. And I can't wait to get older so I can stand up and still be snatched. Okay. So she's like, maybe it was the champagne. He said, oh, okay, y'all was drinking. Yes, Mr. Anthony. But they were not drinking Hennessy. They were sipping champagne, child. This had nothing to do with the alcohol. This had to do with pent-up aggression and feelings, and they just blurted it all out as soon as they saw Robin. And that's that on that. Then she's like, Cristal kept telling Robin that she was triggered and she was getting like the big green monster. He said, like you mean the Incredible Hulk? She said, yeah, the Incredible Hulk. She kept getting bigger and bigger. And, I was just like, every time she would say triggered, she would just get bigger. She said, but I am going to meet with her. And when I meet with her, we will not be drinking. In the next scene, TNT, Tiffany and Tiana. I love TNT. Y'all like that? They go furniture shopping or furniture browsing. And one of the designers is talking to Tiana about selling his penthouse. It's fully furnished and he wants her to come on over and see it. But he's worried about whether or not it's a seller's market. See, that's my kind of night, okay? One where you get a potential new client. Let's go out, let's mix and mingle and make this money. So then Tiffany and Tiana started talking about Cristal and Robin and what happened the other night. And Tiana said, look, when I was going there, I was excited because I went to school with Cristal. So I was like, yeah, we're going to get to know each other, rekindle, old relationships. But the way she was acting, no. Tiana said, I just feel like Cristal provoked the mess with constantly saying triggered. She saying triggered, it triggered me. Tiffany said I was triggered. As I stated, when the new words come out. Because, baby, they going to run triggered into the ground. So Tiffany, of course, she empathized with Robin because, of course, she's experienced anxiety and depression as well. She said just because of the mental health issues that she's thinking about reaching out to her just to make sure she's okay because she was worried about her when she left. I love a queen with some empathy. I love it. My friends used to always tell me, you feel sorry for everybody. Listen, it's enough hate and bitterness and aggression in the world. Just reach out to people and see exactly where they're trying to come from. I mean, if you reach out to them and then you realize that that person is just really who they are, then leave them alone. But I appreciated Tiffany actually wanting to talk to Robin. In the next scene, Cristal goes to see her therapist about what's going on with Robin to see if she can salvage it. So she's telling the therapist about what happened, right? So she's like, yeah, a group of the real estate ladies, we all got together. And she's like, I don't think you ever heard of Robin because we've never had an issue. So the therapist is like, no, I've never heard about her. Don't tell me y'all showing out now that these cameras rolling. Please don't tell me that. So she tells her, she's like, yeah, well, she's one of my best friends. And, there was a conflict where she was into it with another lady. And they both were throwing bows, but then she got into it with another lady and they were attacking her. So I tried to step in and mitigate the situation. Cristal, that is some bullshit. Okay? No, you did not. Is that how you saw it? Because what I saw is you kikiing and laughing when Kira referenced her age. And then I also saw you interjecting every 2 minutes and fanning the flames, not having your friends back. But that's just what I saw. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Cristal has a very different recollection of that night. She said, I thought that Robin would receive it from me better than the other lady, so I went over to try to help her, but she did not receive it that way. So the therapist said, well, what did you say to her? Cristal said, I said you were triggered. And I think me saying that she was triggered her more. But Cristal, you knew that though. Y'all had just had the same encounter a few episodes ago. It's not like this was new for you. You knew that saying that to her would in fact trigger her. Girl. Like, what, Cristal, what are those tears in your eyes? And then the camera zooms in and I'm like, honey, yes, please zoom in, because where's the tears? Like, where are these tears, child? But honey, I guess one failed ever so, because I didn't see it. So she tears up, allegedly, and says that she knows Robin owes her an apology, but she isn't in a place to help her. So she said, I knew she was more emotionally complex, but I had no idea how sensitive I needed to be to her. Okay, Cristal, okay, and I say I'm saying if because I'm confused. If she's your best friend, then wouldn't you know that she has mental health struggles? And wouldn't you know repeating that to her would not calm her? Like, come on now, girl. So, I mean, this is why the therapist can't help you sometimes, because you go in and tell your truth. It's giving two truths and a lie. The therapist said, okay, so you learned something different. Cristal tells us that she knew a lot about Robin. She knew this, that, and this in her, but she's now learning how traumatic her childhood was. She's like, but I didn't know. Like, I didn't know that me saying that would actually trigger her. Okay, girl, I really don't have time. Whatever. The therapist explained to her that sometimes the way we show up for people, it doesn't land. So Cristal said, she hit me. So at what point does she talk about boundaries? So the therapist was like, yes, this definitely sounds like a boundary issue. She definitely crossed the line with you. I will say she crossed the boundary. She should have never gotten physical with you. But some friendships just aren't meant to be. And I think that this is one of them. Moving forward. In the next scene, Kira and Simone go to look for another condo. Because remember the last condo, they're doing the whole Goldilocks and the Three Bears, honey. This one's too small. This one's too big. But this one's just right. So they already went to the one with the small closet. So that's a no. So now we're over here at a different condo because the last one was too small. This one has better views and bigger closets. It's 2 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, $539,000 and 1,369 square feet. Oh, do y'all know what I can get for $539,000? Baby, with an acre of land behind it. Oh, child. The views are beautiful, I have to say that. And I have to remember that this is Atlanta. The views are beautiful. There's a balcony right off the bedroom. I love that. I mean, it's a little high up for me, but I like that. The bathroom is nice as well. It's spacious, baby, but that refrigerator is everything. equipped with a wine cooler. And honey, dealing with these heifers, you're going to need some wine. So after they toured, she was like, yeah, I like it, but I'm going to still need a little bit more space. B, just get a house, honey. Just get a house. Because these condos ain't going to be what you want. If you have a family, sisters, brothers, mamas, daddies, whoever, okay, they can come on down and fill up the house. Even if they're just visiting. Girl, if you don't get you a house, moving forward. In the next scene, Robin is going to meet with Tiffany. And she said, I'm really excited to meet with her because I feel like I'm going to have a friend, like somebody that I can talk through this with. Like an anxiety buddy, like just somebody. So Tiffany says she's meeting to make sure that she's doing well mentally because even though she doesn't know her, she does want to check on her. That is so kind of Tiffany. Like, we all need a little support every now and then. And I know being in that space with Tiffany and being able to let her guard down and talk about those things and actually have someone receptive and not judge you, I know she felt all the way seen. Do y'all hear me? I know she was like, you know what? We see each other. Shout out to Nene and Candy. I'm just saying. So they started talking about the night and Robin said, I felt attacked. Tiffany said, you mentioned some mental health issues. She said, yes, mental instability. And I can admit that because people are afraid to admit that their brain doesn't operate the same every day. That's really brave of her to admit that, especially with such a stigma attached to mental health, especially in the Black community. Because the first thing people want to say, you crazy. Ooh, she crazy. That's the first thing they want to say, child. So Robin said, when Tiffany came to me and came to my rescue, it made me look at Cristal differently because she wasn't there. She wasn't on my side. She didn't know what side she wanted to be on. So Tiffany said, I don't know you and Cristal's relationship, but saying you're triggered, it amplifies it. She said she might as well have said, nah, Robin, you're triggered. And I feel the same way. And so Tiffany said, yeah, she might as well have said, Robin has a mental illness. Please excuse her. And so in the confessional, Robin said, I was depressed as a child. I cried all the time. I've slowly started to tell Cristal that I was weak, which I really hate to use the word weak, but I was. So they talk about it some more. And Tiffany said, I may need to connect you to my therapist, honey, because she is thebomb.com. Now, she didn't say .com, but I like to put a little zhuzh on it. She said she's everything. So Tiffany tells her that she has severe anxiety. It wasn't so much depression. And she just felt like she was afraid to even leave home because something bad would happen to her. But her therapist helped her pull through. So Robin tells her that she got pregnant at 16 and her mom threw her out. But she was like, Mama, how you gonna throw me out when you had 3 kids by 16? Wow. Child, not getting pregnant at 16 lands you on a TV show. Shout out to MTV. So they exchanged stories and Tiffany was like, I got pregnant at 20 and it was hard. I can't imagine being pregnant at 16. Like, I was still sneaking out of the house trying to go to parties. Child, I know that's right. I was sneaking out the house as well. Child, I hope Mama don't listen to these reviews. But I'm grown now, so it's fine. Oh, child. I love the support that Tiffany is offering Robin. I also like that they got to share with each other. I hope these two actually do become friends because having a support group or just somebody to talk to, that's important. You really need someone to talk to. I know people say, well, it could just be me. I'm good by myself. But everybody needs somebody. In the next scene, Tiana meets with a designer turned potential client. When I tell you this place is absolutely stunning, it is breathtaking. Baby, he did that. That is my kind of luxury living. Let me tell y'all something. When my son gets grown and gone, that's going to be my kind of landing pad. I would not change a thing. I would move directly in. I would Lysol the place, of course, because, germs and whatnot. And then I'd sit on down, honey, and kick up my heels. So they're looking around the penthouse. Then they go to the outdoor space, and it is jaw-dropping. So she's telling Michael that the market is at an all-time high right now. So she's like, it's definitely a seller's market. And I looked at some comps in this area, and this right here surpasses any of those. But his fear is that he put all of that money into it, and he's not going to see a return on it. So Tiana said, yeah, I'm thinking like 1.5 mil. Tiana, keep thinking. Girl, 1.5 for that? Okay, let's think about this. I don't know the area. I don't know the neighborhood. But if B. Simone was looking at a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with 1,300 square feet for $539 and it didn't hold a candle to this space, this right here is an easy, cool $3 million. He said 1.5, forget about it. He probably put close to that in upgrades. That is not going to work. Moving forward. In the final scene, Robin goes to meet with Kiana. Okay, Kiana got the long hair going and whatnot. It looks nice. So Kiana said, what happened at the dinner, girl? What happened? So Robin said it did get ugly. It went from hey to getting into it as y'all got into it. And Kiana said, well, I was going there to just try to clear the air with you and just mention it to you to refresh your memory. But you were being very dismissive, acting like as if it never happened, but it did happen. She said, I was shocked, first of all. And when everyone else started going in, I started getting defensive. So they're debating about whether or not Robin's apology was sincere. So Kiana is trying to get her to see that it wasn't an apology. So they go back and forth and forth and back. But the bottom line is this. Kiana, you should have spoken to her before this or after the event, not in the middle of it, because that's what really got it started. It was a downward spiral because the energy in the room shifted. When you came to her with that, then Kira felt like, oh, okay, well, honey, she's saying what she needs to say, so let me say what I need to say. In turn, it blew up the whole night. It's not your fault, but I'm just saying you should have talked to her before then or after that. So Kiana, in her confessional, she was like, I said I needed to talk to her and figure out why she tried to charge me $500 when I had 29 contracts. Child, now it went from 26 to 29. Girl, what number is it, honey? Whatever number it is, I hope it gets squashed by next episode because it is getting on my nervous system. Also, what is she giving you an apology for? Because I've gotten lost in that as well. Like, I don't even know what the apology is for at this point. Like, is she apologizing because she was your husband's friend and she should have, given you a better price? Or is she apologizing for charging you altogether? I hope next episode we get some answers. And that was the end of the episode. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. I thought it was beautiful for Tiffany to offer grace. I thought it was beautiful for Robin to open up and say she does have a mental health issue. And that is okay. Stigma and all. Tiana, 1.5 mil ain't gonna work. Okay? Kira, keep finding B. Simone somewhere to lay her head down. Baby girl. And I will catch y'all on the flip side. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.